And it's time for another AEW review. So today, guys, I'm going to make this one a bit quicker because, there's just a lot on my mind right now. So, got to get this done quickly as fast as I can. So I'm going to give as much of my opinion as I can on most of this stuff. So, the show kicked off with Mercedes and Toni Storm's face-to-face, their final confrontation before AEW All In. And I loved this back and forth, and this back and forth was very well done, and both women did their best. And this is definitely the match I'm looking forward to the most out of all the matches at All In, because this match has potential to main event the show. However, I don't think it will, because if it main events, then maybe Jon Moxley retains. But I don't know. I just think it has potential to main event All In, but I just don't think that's going to happen. I could see it, maybe not opening. I could see it being maybe the second to last match on the card, maybe close to the end. But they've got 2 Casino Battle Royals, so you could always start off the show with one of those, which I think should be the right decision. But this match between Mercedes and Toni is gonna be great. And Toni Storm at the end of the promo tells Mercedes to eat shit, bitch, and then they have a little bit of a brawl. And it doesn't matter how many times it's been denied by AEW, Tony Khan's even denied that Mercedes has creative control. Sean Ross Sapp and many others have flat out said that Mercedes does not have creative control, and fans are just never, ever, ever gonna accept that answer. Because apparently every single person that says no, she doesn't have creative control, apparently we're all liars. Apparently we're all lying and we're making it up. I mean, you're telling this to Sean Ross Sapp, someone who's a very reliable source. You're basically calling him a liar. I guess Tom Collihue is also a liar, because I'm pretty sure he even would say she doesn't have creative control. Come on, people. Stop being delusional. Stop being delusional. Your hate for Mercedes Moné now is it's so out of control now. It's so out of control that people hate her so much that they just don't care how many, they are willing to throw away all their trust for their favorite, their favorite reporters just for the sake of trying to prove that she has creative control. And Mercedes said it even best, the more people hate her, the more she's gonna win. So I just don't understand. I just do not get why people just continue and continue and continue and continue to be blinded by their hatred for Mercedes and just accept that they were proven wrong. They've been proven wrong so many times that she doesn't have creative control, but yet people will just continue to say she does. She doesn't have it. She never will have it. And it doesn't matter how many times you people want to keep calling people liars, she doesn't have creative control. How come no one said Charlotte Flair had creative control? How come no one said Becky Lynch had creative control? How come no one said Roman Reigns had creative control when he was champion for 4 years? This is what I mean. There have been so many times where people could have said that about certain people in WWE, but never. No one said that about Kenny Omega when he had multiple championships. People don't say it about Jon Moxley. Again, because people hate a certain person, they will say whatever they have to say to express their hatred, and no matter how many times they have been proven wrong, they will just continue to say that they are right, and the people that are the ones that are telling the truth, we're all a bunch of liars. We're all just a bunch of liars. And this is why I choose to ignore the IWC. This is why I choose to ignore these idiots, because these people are just flat out idiots who just refuse to accept that they have been proven wrong. That they refuse to accept that they've been proven wrong, and no matter how many reliable sources tell them that Mercedes does not have creative control, they're gonna keep on doing it until someone does say she does have creative control. That's all it's gonna do. That's all it is. They're gonna continue to say she has it until someone says she does. She even said it as a joke. Mercedes even said it as a joke, in a joking manner, on TMZ, that she had creative control. She said it as a joke, and everyone takes that as and of course, people take that as believable. Like, oh, she wasn't joking, she literally meant it. Like, she said it in a joking way, and of course, people take that as legit. This is why I say these people are a bunch of idiots. This is why I say people are a bunch of idiots. Like, they take everything at front value instead of just realizing that clearly she said it as a joke. But as soon as she waddles on back to WWE, as soon as Mercedes waddles on back to WWE, everyone will forget about it, and everyone will love and admire Sasha Banks again. And don't tell me I'm wrong. Everyone that despised her will all love her again when she goes back to WWE, because that's all people care about. But yeah, she doesn't have creative control, and I will continue to say it until it sinks into your thick skulls that she does not have creative control. No matter how many times she wins, she doesn't have creative control. There's a big difference between creative input and creative control. You morons. Jon Moxley has a promo telling Hangman that he better bring his A game as if this is his last dance. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that match too. I know a lot of people want to see Hangman win, and I myself included would like to see Hangman win. But the big difference between me and majority of the fans, I'm not going to throw a goddamn childish temper tantrum if I don't get what I want. Sure, I'll be upset if I don't get my way, but I'm not going to shit on the company or say Tony Khan's a bad booker or whatever just because I don't get my way, because that's how the entire internet is. It's either they get what they want or they throw a childish fit about the whole thing. So, but I do think Hangman should win. I do think Hangman should win here. But if he doesn't, don't go crying about it. Don't waste your breath. You can be upset about the result if he doesn't win, but don't cry like a little bitch about it. But we all know that's not what the IWC is all about. They're all a bunch of bitches and pussies. Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke, not saying his last name, they defeat Brody King and Bandito in a decent little tag match. I know Kyle Fletcher will be meeting Adam Cole at All In, because even though I didn't review that episode of Collision, I did see some of it, and Kyle Fletcher is the #1 contender for the TNT title. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I really hope Kyle Fletcher wins the TNT title. I'm not holding my breath on him actually winning. I do hope for a good match between him and Adam Cole, but I would love to see Kyle Fletcher win his first singles title, because this has really been good for him, and I think it's time to strap him with a belt. Jet Speed, they ended up stealing the Hurt Syndicate's World Tag Team Championships, which all leads into MJF and Mark Briscoe having their talky talk. The fans chant Tiny Pickle at MJF, and MJF says he doesn't want to have a talky talk with Mark Briscoe, and he wants Mark Briscoe to take a walkie walk. So they go back and forth for a while. And one of the big key things here is that Mark Briscoe says that he knows what MJF's all about. He knows MJF is going to try and insult him, and he says he's not, and he says he's been preparing himself for all these insults, and nothing MJF would say is going to affect him or emotionally hurt him, even if he talks about his dead brother, Jay Briscoe. And then MJF proceeds to talk about his dead brother, Jay Briscoe. But he puts respect on his name. But then, in typical MJF fashion, turns the respect into disrespect. Then proceeds to tell Mark Briscoe that if Jay Briscoe was here, he'd be saying, it shouldn't have been me in that accident. It should have been you, Mark. And then Mark Briscoe gets pissed and attacks MJF. So, Mark, you said you were going to be prepared for anything that MJF says and you weren't going to get rattled by anything he said. And he gets rattled. So, I mean, I love it when a wrestler says, oh, I know your tricks, I know what you're going to do, and I'm prepared for it. And then they still get upset and triggered, even though they said they have been preparing and they know what that person's about. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm just mentioning that he said that he's not going to let anything MJF says get to him, and then he said something that got to him. It's just a typical character trope that I'm not the biggest fan of. But hey, you know, it's all part of the story. So, Mark and MJF have a bit of a brawl. Hurt Syndicate were going to come out and help MJF until Jet Speed get involved again. So, yeah, that's really all I can say about that. Good segment though. Megan Bayne would defeat Ty Mello, Tequila, and Queen Abinata. Damn it, I think I said her name wrong again. Tekla, I think that's how they say it. Tekla, yeah, I think that's how they say it. Tekla? That might be correct. But, correct, tell me if I said it correctly that time. Tekla. Yeah, so Queen Abinata defeated Ty Mello, Tekla, and Queen Abinata. And Ty Mello. Well, I think I might have said her name twice. You get it. It was a fatal four-way. Ty Mello, Tekla, and Queen Abinata. Megan Bayne won. I'm all over the place. That's what happens when you're trying to rush things. But, Megan Bayne seemed to have debuted a new finisher. I think she's gotten rid of her F5 looking maneuver. Like, I will be honest, it doesn't really look that great. That F5 looking maneuver just looks like she just has them on her shoulders, and then she just drops them on their face. But yeah, she does like a running powerbomb on Abinata instead, and wins that fatal four-way. And that fatal four-way put her in the Casino Battle Royal. To be honest, I have no idea who's gonna win those Battle Royals. I can't even begin to guess. Who could potentially win those. But I am going to take a guess that I think we'll see Isla Dawn debut in the Casino Battle Royal, because I have seen reports that AEW are heavily interested in signing Isla Dawn, who used to be in WWE, who was recently released this year. And I would like to see Elena Black possibly appear in it, and also maybe Gigi Dolan, or Priscilla Kelly as she's known as now. Hell, even Tegan Knox, Nixon Noel. I would even like to see them make an appearance. I'm not trying to say I want them all there in AEW so they can sign. I mean, they can just make an appearance. I mean, hell, I didn't know Tennille Dashwood worked in AEW briefly, because she was in one of the Casino Battle Royals many years ago. You could make an appearance, but you don't have to sign there. So, hell, I would even be okay with Blair Davenport even appearing there. So there are definitely people that you could definitely pull out who are free agents that could possibly just pull up there for like a one-off appearance. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of possibilities. But I do think maybe that will be probably where we will see Isla Dawn possibly debut since I've been hearing AEW are interested in signing her. Which, if they do sign her, good get. I think she's a good get for AEW, and I think she'd be a perfect fit for Julia Hart and Sky Blue, because they've got like this creepy tag team going on. Like, I think she'd be a good fit for them as well. I think she could be a good fit for them, but also she'd also be good for singles as well. So yeah, there's definitely some possibilities. Samoa Joe would defeat Wheeler Yuta, and then Gabe Kidd attacks him after the match. Samoa Joe attacks Samoa Joe. I'm not really much. Don't really know much about this Gabe Kidd. So yeah, he's definitely. I know he's been like an assassin for the Death Riders, but again, he's someone I'm not really familiar with. Omega and Okada had a hype package to build up to their big match. Swerve Strickland would destroy the Young Bucks' limo, so playing some mind games with them. And then the main event was Hangman and Ospreay and the Ops taking on the Death Riders and the Young Bucks. And the heels would ultimately win. So the Death Riders and the Young Bucks would ultimately win this main event. So this could possibly mean that we could be in for a new AEW World Champion. This could very well mean that Hangman could potentially win. So, yeah, good stuff. So, there you go. There's my Dynamite review, guys. Wanted to get this out as quickly as I can. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more. And see you all next time.